Hey guys. Hey guys. So this is the second MicroCon vlog, 2023. I'm here with Nico. And yeah, we're in the airport. We're gonna start the journey. We're on the plane about to take off. Just touched down in Chicago. Nico, thoughts on touching down in Chicago? Just grab the car. We're heading out now. At El Barrio Mexican restaurant. If you're coming here, go to that restaurant. It's really good. Also, it's very accurate that the deep dish pizza place has slot machines. So, you know, that's our thing. The air is rainy, terrible, thick, hot, wet, smoky, and foggy. So we're gonna head to the hotel now. Hopefully meet up with some people around 3.
Which way is the camera facing?
You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's like people recording over there. And Zach can stand over there. We just got to our room. Alright, we're about to leave. We're leaving right now for the
Yes.
What I did not
first
bring
thing.
was
Wait,
my
what's it
cable.
The diplomatic reception.
yes, the reception.
It's gonna direct you.
I lost my invitation letter, but they said they would give it to me when I got there. So
Well, you didn't lose it.
we're at the party. People are hanging out inside the house. There's Connor. Hey, Connor. And Nico. People are around. Psycholia, we met some people. Yeah, we're just chilling. The diplomatic reception is pretty chill. The real stuff will happen tomorrow, and I'll film all that. Alright, we are now. This is the beginning of the conference. People are getting their tables set up. They're getting their flags set up over at the stage. This is the main hall room. All the seats. I'll go through each table and I'm gonna go through and record all of the presentations. So here's the first one. The Republic of Soundland. I'm recording for a YouTube video of all of the nation's presentations. Do you have any comments on Soundlands?
It's pretty cool what we have here. We're small, but we're very developed in terms of culture and government, and we're growing. And, yeah, we have a very successful.
All right, now we have Duck Islands.
So that was.
You'll notice right here, Excelsior annexed that. That's why it's purple. Then there's Dania.
So we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. Del Vera did. Carney Ruthenia has
Maristan.
before that, Ruthenia was.
Oh, so you guys
Yes. So we joined Carney Ruthenia. Yes.
Then we've got the Grand Republic of Moontunia. Then we've got Ladonia. Ladonia, who's hosting this event. Sorry about that.
Works for me, right?
We still made
This is West 2.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Well, it makes sense though. Like representing.
I've got the Micronational Olympic Federation.
So we have a nation that's run by an organization we consider terrorist because they did blow up on the pressurized can.
I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. The Kingdom of.
So just like a terrorist state.
Maybe I will. Pibokip. Maybe.
Oh, sure. And I was just 10 months in between MicroCon.
Right, yeah.
I have no time to do something.
The 2 year, I mean, you couldn't help COVID and all that kind of stuff, but it does give you more time to kind of show things out.
Oh, if you wanted to take currency
Got the Pearson Republic.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I feel like I need to do math for this. Math and don't mix. I see two numbers in a
Kingdom
I mean,
of Ax
currency only
Kelowna.
become useful when you've got a functioning economy and/or are trading with other micronations. In order to trade with other micronations and even use currency, it's got to be pegged to a common standard, which almost implies basically
Molossia.
So, I mean, we may get to that point in micronations where, you know, we can peg the your currency, you've got so many dollars US in the central bank and your currency exchange rate is class.
Codormonosland. Connor, any thoughts on Codormonosland?
It's a great nation.
Great nation. You're not biased though, right? No, no, no.
It's not the best nation, but it's a good nation.
Wait, how'd you manage to get a whole table?
We're not really supposed to, but no one complains. Got one.
Right, Eldonia. West Arctica. Some of their stuff is really cool. If I can get to focus. There we go. Their notes look amazing. Hankland. It's legit, I'm saying. We got the MicroCon organizing committee, I guess. Zakistan. They had condoms at their table last time. Pontoonia.
Yes.
Any thoughts on Pontoonia for the video?
I run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great.
Are you alright with being in the video?
Yeah, I'm fine with being but yeah, so
Who are you guys?
Here's the American Empire table. They got Warhammer, so shout out to them. And we got our table. We've got one about the flag. We've got Excelsior culture, the Excelsior economy, the military, the government. We've got a sample uniform, some of our notes that I cut out very badly in a rush job right before this. We've got the Constitution, the Criminal Code, I think this might be the old one. The old crown of the deposed queen. The gavel. And there I am. And yeah. They just said that the presentations were about to start, so I will record them. Although I can't ensure the highest quality because I will be just sitting here, but I'll see what I can do.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Dear friends, I'd like to begin by thanking the MicroCon committee for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak. So, thank you so much. I would also like to extend to each of you the kindest regards from my grandparents, King Philip and Queen Margarita, the rest of the Boston royal family, and the whole people of Boston. Likewise, I would also like to extend to you kind regards from King Ben Ferguson of Fergus and President Antonov of Spuria, who unfortunately could not be here, but they told me to tell you all they said hello. They miss you. They hope to see you all soon. So, thank you. Without further ado, I'd like to talk about micronationalism and the common good, and what good it serves, and what's in it for us. So people often ask, what is micronationalism all about? What purpose does it serve? Why bother? Even within our own inter-micronational community, questions are often raised about the purpose of micronationalism. Even controversial questions such as, quote, what's in it for us, end quote. These questions are asked by members of our own community. And for a moment, I'd like to entertain that question. What is in it for us? What is in it for us? What good is it for us to be here? What good can come out of meetings like this? Although the answers may be obvious for all of us, because we spent the money and travel time to be here, we know the answers, I'd like to articulate a few good things that come out of both micronationalism and MicroCon, in order to give all of you a little bit of thought arsenal for when your friends and family ask you what you're doing this weekend. In order to do this, I'll be explaining the importance of the concept of the common good. We often hear about the concept of the common good. We hear about it in media, in government, politics, and society. But what is the common good? In my field of study, in my profession, the common good is defined as, and I quote, the sum of those conditions of social life which allow social groups and their individual members relatively thorough and ready access to their own fulfillment, end quote. This citation comes from Gaudium et Spes, a constitution on the church in the modern world, published in 1965 from the Second Vatican Council. In other words, the common good consists of those things and conditions that lead to the fulfillment of everybody. So the common good are those things that help all of us to live well. But what are these things and conditions that lead to the fulfillment of everyone? Although Gaudium et Spes does not explicitly state what the sum of these things are, or these conditions are, I think that Maslow's hierarchy of needs can provide us with some insight into what constitutes the common good. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the bottom level, the yellow bar down there, consists of the basic needs that everybody needs in order to survive: food, water, homeostasis, clothing. The four upper levels of the pyramid consist of the things that people need to live well. According to theology, it is not enough to simply live. Nobody here is trying to simply survive. We all want to live well. Or as I tell my students, we don't want to just survive, we want to thrive, right? Everyone here desires to live well, right? Of course, right? Of course, that's why you're here. You want to live well. And so in order to live well, in order to thrive, we need other things. We need other ideas, other types of fulfillment, other things, activities that bring fulfillment and help us to live. So if the higher four level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs consists of the things that human beings need to live well, then it can be argued that these things are a part of the common good. We can all agree that food, water, clothing are basic needs, and so therefore are a part of the common good. But for human beings, it's not enough to survive. is needed to live well, to thrive. If that's our desire, then we need other things as well. Other things common to all of us that are good for all of us to live well. And I'll admit, right, we can debate, maybe which level certain things are or should be on a pyramid. Maybe we want to add things, maybe we take a few of those things away. But I think there is a level of objectivity to this to say we all desire friendship. We all desire achievement. We all desire belonging. As Emperor Eric would say, it's all about belonging, right? We have our micronational medals. It's achievement. We're here at MicroCon, where we belong. We all desire that. So these higher level things are a part of the common good. If Gaudium Spes considers the things that bring human fulfillment part of the common good, then things on Maslow's hierarchy of needs are a part of the common good. So although we may debate to what extent each of us might need these things, we may all agree that each of us need some of these things in order to live well. In other words, do you think that life would be better if we had access to the things on this pyramid? Would you live better if you had access to those things? If you can see them?
Yes.
Absolutely, right? Yes, of course. We especially desire friendship, achievement, belonging. That's why we're here. So if all of us desire those things on that pyramid, if all of us desire things to help us not just to live, but to live well, that we can constitute the common good, then the question becomes, who provides the common good? How can we access the common good? If we need those things to live and live well, where do we get it? From whom do we get it? From where do we get it? I argue that governments cannot effectively provide the fullness of the common good. Think about it. Who wants friends? Who wants to have friends? Right? Now, if I were to say, Jim, you want friends, right?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta go next door. The government called me, they said your friends are next door. How do you feel about that? No, right? Your friends are here, right? You may, right? You all want to achieve, right? Of course. President Ball, you gotta go achieve next door. You can't achieve here. Sorry, the government said so. It doesn't work that way, right? So I argue the government can't provide us with friends or achievement or belonging or meaning. Who would want to stay beside a friend, right? So if the government cannot provide us with friends or achievement or belonging or creativity, who would? Who can do this? Gaudium Spes states, and I quote, "It grows increasingly true that obligations of justice and love are fulfilled only if each person, contributing to the common good, according to his or her own abilities and the needs of others, also promote and assist the public and private institutions dedicated to bettering the conditions of human life." End quote. In other words, who is responsible for the common good? The answer is all of us, exactly. All of us. All of us are responsible for the common good. Each and every one of us plays a role in providing the common good. Churches, mosques, synagogues, other religious organizations, the YMCAs of America, the YMCA USA, YMCA Rotary Clubs, Kiwanis Clubs, USA Track and Field, USA Swimming and Diving. All of these other sports organizations, all of these groups, religious groups, social groups, sports groups, help to contribute to the common good. And I argue that in addition to all these other groups, churches, mosques, synagogues, YMCAs, sports groups, micronations also contribute to the common good. Our micronations, each and every one of our micronations, helps contribute to the common good. So how do micronations contribute to the common good? By being unique entities. by being very unique entities. Each micronation has their own unique contributions. But all micronations offer opportunities for friendship, for achievement, for belonging, creativity, problem solving, self-esteem, confidence, and respect for and by others, by existing as sovereign micronational entities. The things on the higher level things on that pyramid, self-esteem, creativity, problem solving, that we would live better if we had, we get it from micronationalism. How many micronational wars do we quell, or international disputes do we quell? That's creativity and problem solving, right? Our medals, our awards, our honors, creativity, right? Respect for and by others. And so I'd like to give a few examples of some of the micronations that contribute to the common good. All of the micronations do. So, although I'm going to talk about a few of them very quickly, I'm going to challenge you to think, how does your micronation contribute to the common good? How do you help? So, for example, Mitra, I did the G20 summit, right? Which was a space for different micronations to meet online and discuss different ideas and problem solve, right? And exchange different ideas, give presentations. This is actually where this presentation originated. Zakistan gave a presentation last year at MicroCon, and you talked about how you gave passports to people from Zakistan who never had a passport, who didn't belong anywhere else. You gave them a place to belong, right? MicroCon, of course, right? Creates an atmosphere of friendship, belonging, problem solving, respect for and by others. That was our number one goal last year, right? Respect others. West Antarctica, with its environmental sensitivity, ecology, right? You contribute to the common good by making sure our common home is secure.
Not flooded.
Right? The Urban Empire, right? And its academic pursuits, right? It's all about belonging, right? Temporary, all about belonging. Labasa, creativity, academics. I personally do a lot with academic work, trying to write papers to help us articulate our thoughts on micronationalism. And we also do work for feeding the hungry in our local community. I also like to add that Sylvia also does a lot with academics, like National Archives. So although the list can be exhaustive, but I only mentioned a few here, I'd like to challenge all of you to think, how do your micronations do? What more of us with Afghanistan, right? Creates creativity through the arts with music, right? It's a wonderful thing. So, Malasia to help with educating people on micronationalism and politics, right? So many wonderful ways that all of you help. Now, although I can't list them all, please don't be mad at me that I can't, right? My challenge is, now it's your job. Now your micronation can articulate, here's how I contribute to the common good. Here's what my micronation does to help others, to help us, to make our world a better place. So when the question is asked, what's in it for us? The answer is the common good. Although many of our micronations might not offer fruits and vegetables, minted coins, and some other quote-unquote tangible, quote-unquote aspects of the common good, we all offer the important, quote, intangible, quote, aspects of common good, which are arguably just as important. So what's in it for us? Friendship, achievement, belonging, creativity, problem solving, self-esteem, confidence, respect for and by others, and so much more that help each and every one of us to live well, provided by the common good, so that all people may be raised up to a new hope. Thank you.
In a perfect world, if I was presenting this to my colleagues, this would be about a 40-minute talk, but I'm going to last through it like a ferret on amphetamines. We'll try and keep it brief.
Excellent.
So, obviously, I am a micronationalist, but I'm very interested in
functional but eccentric folks we are. So,
So you have to really jam it.
So, just quickly, again, if I was presenting on a colleague's course first, I would say I have never taken money from a private pharmaceutical company. I have no financial ties to this presentation. No one is paying me to do this. Hopefully, I have no more biases than anybody else. Second course. All right, it's going to be 11 minutes. So, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that obviously I've got a vested interest in proving that people in this room are not crazy because I'm in the room.
Well, now you broke it.
And so, because I'll be talking about some original research we conducted, again, we received no funding because that money was very fine. So, my co-authors, you don't know any of them. The ethical tool for this study was obtained from Ariel University in Israel because, quite frankly, their ethics approval system is a lot easier than our European. Give me 12 minutes.
I have an idea. You interpretively dance when you want him to advance the slide.
So, I'm going to skip over, of course, micronation. What is important, what is significant, is there is a huge body of research out there about ordinary kids in the world. And there is actually some good quality research showing that it is beneficial for children both to imagine worlds and even for, at least for selected people, for this person to persist into adolescence and adulthood. But what about when other...
Sorry, my iPhone's storage right now, but I'm back.
The same way. Therefore, you might imagine there's some sort of eccentricity that goes into micronations. So I'm not going to read this out loud, but basically, we imagine that people who have functional micronations who have persisted for many years and other people want to join must be doing something right, and probably decent folks. So our hypothesis of our study was we would find no difference between our selected micronationalists and so-called healthy controllers. We defined successful micronations by going on Wikipedia, list of micronations. This was done in 2019, hence the dates. We looked at the Micro Freedom Index, we looked through the Planet Guide, we identified notable based on who again was in Wikipedia, who'd been in some international media, who'd been in documentaries. We excluded anyone we found who was below the age of majority and could not read fluent English for our questionnaire. We identified 32 leaders of micronationalists who would be good candidates for our study. One was ineligible for reasons. 12 of those 32 consented to participate. No one wrote back to say they refused to participate, which means we don't know if the people who didn't participate, if that's because they never got our messages or they just didn't want to or who knows what. Next. We recruited our control participants for the non-scientists among you is just the people who you don't think are in your group of interest. So we found a bunch of politically interested folks by going on English language Facebook groups. We found people over the age of 18. We basically just made a post, would you like to fill in this questionnaire? We will not be paid for it. And the first 12 people who got back to us, we accepted as our questionnaire. This, by the way, is a terrible way to select your control participants. Part of why this study is unpublishable in a importantly, we broke confidentiality, which is very bad in most science, in one respect, which is we gave our micronationalist participants the option of having their nation named in our study if they wanted people to know they participated. Which, speaking of narcissism. Unsurprisingly, most of the participants were male. The age range was ironically pretty much exact. The mean age was ironically almost exactly our age. Most were employed, and most at 50% in a committed relationship. We did not get into all kinds of non-committed relationships. And there was basically no difference between the controls and the participants. Okay? You know, this is just a list of questionnaires we gave. If anyone wants to see that in big print, feel free to come talk to me afterwards. Next. Again, I'm not going to tell you about our statistics. For the 1 or 2 people in the audience who cares, it was mostly t-tests, and again, I'll explain that in greater detail if anyone really wants to know. Next. So, short version, we found no significant differences whatsoever between the control participants and the micronational leaders groups on measures of schizotypal personality, narcissistic personality, autism. Histrionic personality is folks who, if you ever see someone walking down the street wearing 17 colors of scarves and just making a big show of themselves, that's histrionic personality. They like being considered the makes life harder. And we use the question on friendship quality as a sort of proxy for autism, because that tends to be tricky for many, but not all people with autism. Next. Again, results, if you want to know, talk to me afterwards. Next. So, the implications of our study, it might be speculated that individuals' ability to turn their grandiosity towards community building, as Prince Philip alluded to, has probably contributed to the persistence of their micronations. Next. So, major limitations of this study, again, it was rejected by some of the finest journals. Very restricted and, to be honest, biased list of successful micronations, very lazy way of picking controls, we could have done better. But it was a pilot study. If we were doing this with 100 micronationalists, we would have more carefully selected our controls. We only used very brief screening tools. Nobody sat through a formal psychiatric interview. And because we have such a tiny sample size, the concept of statistical power is the likelihood that the results you have are actually about the truth as opposed to some random finding. So our power is not high, but we also didn't find any findings, so that doesn't matter. So this leaves us with a couple of fascinating questions for the future and for someone with more free time than me, which is, well, what about unsuccessful micronation? What about the ones who don't succeed on the world stage? Do they have functional or dysfunctional grandiosity? And then what about diplomatic relations, which sort of form a model for us to see how different individuals with different kinds of grandiosity, different flavors, manifest. You know, if we were to look at, some parallels between Kevin and our good Snowden here, there are some similarities in important ones from the fancy uniforms law, as opposed to some of the other people in the audience who choose to present differently. And yet, by and large, I don't think any wars have broken out since 8 o'clock this morning. So our conclusion again, I'm not going to read the paper here, but basically, first ever data collected on this unique and interesting population, suggesting that there is such a thing as a very positive grandiosity that can improve someone's life if it's turned towards building healthy relationships. And of course, everything has to end with some critical life expertise that keeps them. So that's the next. The limitations for history, you get a screenshot from Microsoft Word, I'll fix it. Afghanistan, you just have to be here, Lost Island, you just have to Molossia, Fawcett, Burkina, Sandus, Segovia, Ethiopia, Hoover, and Joseph. So those are the audience. Thank you very much for contributing to my presentation today as well. I guess I'll take questions afterwards after I see my own.
Yes.
Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. All right. Well, nice to meet everyone. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. This is my first MicroCon. I was really nervous last night at the reception, and then all of that melted away as soon as I got to meet all you lovely people. I'm super thrilled to be here. So I'm going to be speaking today on creating meaningful micronational ceremonies. A little bit about me. Also, I love memes. There will be memes sprinkled throughout. So I am the founder and the princess of the Circle of Belmore, which was founded in 2021, kind of as a pandemic baby. Princept is a term I kind of came up with. It's the gender-neutral variant of prince or princess. I'm non-binary. Our nation is founded heavily in the LGBTQ+ community, and we do make sure that every title has a gender-neutral or non-binary variant, so we can be super inclusive. In my non-micronational life, I am a writer and a poet. I did a Master of Studies in Creative Writing at Oxford University in 2020, graduating in 2020. February was my ceremony right before everything shut down. I was super lucky. My informal study, because the cool thing about being an academic is you can take all of those skills that you've learned and then do something completely wild with it outside of class. So my informal study has been in ritual and ceremony, specifically in neo-pagan and esoteric spiritualism. I am going to kind of blast through this. I do have my slides available if you want to hit me up on Facebook afterwards. I talk fast when I'm nervous as well, so I will let you know. So we're going to start by defining our terms, like any good academic. So for our purposes, I'm defining a ceremony as a distinct and specific set of actions performed repeatedly over time to mark an event. Sometimes the ceremony itself is the event, like this right here. This is kind of a ceremony thing we're doing, and it's not necessarily, there isn't an outside impetus for it. This is the event. In a way, ceremony is similar to ritual or tradition. However, there are some linguistic differences. A ceremony tends to be a little bit less esoteric than a ritual, but more formal than a tradition. So, why do we do ceremonies? Ceremonies are a way that a nation actively defines its national identity and its cultural values. I was heavily inspired by Robert Godin from last year, talking about how micronationalism is grounded and reinforced in performance. And ceremony is a large part of that. Ceremonies and traditions are rituals that connect us to the past. Mythologist Joseph Campbell, who did a lot of literary theory, states that a ritual is the enactment of a myth, and by participating in that ritual, you are participating in the myth. And then Dally Messenger III asserts that ceremonies have similar functions, including helping humans adjust to change. They're signposts of culture, they're a means of expressing and reinforcing values. They often serve as pillars of the performing arts, and they create lifelong meaningful memories.
Dear politicians, my name is Mariana, and I am the CEO of Marisa. And today I'm going to be talking about the negative impact of the misconceptions against women in politics and how to avoid it in micronations. How many women with relevant political influence can you remember about? Probably just a few of them. As a result, I decided to make a research about women in politics to better understand the reason behind the lack of women in this area. Politics is a way to organize a region in which people considered to be competent are chosen to make the best decisions for a region. But due to misconceptions created about women, men are the majority elected, since female candidates are judged to be are judged to be less able to govern than them. As we learn about it, we will be better informed to promote equality in micronational politics. According to the article by Luciana and Sylvia, which can be translated to English as Women in Power, aspects about the female speech in the electoral campaigns, a more serious woman can be considered masculine. And this would be a reason why she would be rejected. And if another one shows to be more feminine, there is a possibility that she would be seen as inept to govern. Furthermore, a woman candidate can be seen only as reliable, empathetic, and able to deal with the electorate. But a man candidate is usually seen as more competent, decisive, and able to deal with crises due to the stereotypes. In an article by Flavia Biroli, which can be translated to English as Gender and Politics, on the news of Brazilian weekly magazines, Lex and Stereotypes, many articles about politicians were analyzed. There were no mentions to the appearance of a male politician. But for the concept who is pictured in this. Okay, it's exactly skip. What's up? Who is pictured here? the minister's private life was the topic of the article. It mentioned his friendship with powerful men and his career, but for Dilma, it was referred to her daughter, her divorce, and her age. In the same article, it was explained how society considers politics something solely for men, and that women should take care only of her family, which is not true. Other causes of women being underrepresented in politics are the direct action done by individuals. The phenomenon that came from the misogynist culture occurring with female politicians is called mentoring.
I'm talking today, well, I think we've had a lot of talks that have shared a lot of really interesting ideas, but I want to talk to you a little bit about government agencies and how we build our micronations. And I've noticed that each MicroCon, I started out when Kevin Baugh from Molossi did the very first MicroCon in California. And we've always had some brand new micronationalists, people that their countries are 1, 2, 3 years old. And then we've had countries that have been doing this for a number of years. So there's this kind of balancing act that we do. And I want to talk about building it, because I think sometimes you walk around and you look at what people are doing and you think, oh, you know, I don't do that. My micronation doesn't have that. How am I ever going to get, somebody like Ladonia, we have 24,000 citizens, and I think West 2 has 480 citizens, and I think, I'll never get to 20,000. And you judge yourself and so on. But I think what we need to keep in mind is it just takes time and persistence. So I want to start with a quick video about one of our government agencies, which is our spy agency. West 2 has the smallest spy agency in the world. And so I want to talk to you about that, but then catapult into other things that we do in our micronations. No sound. It was playing on the computer when I lined it up. So that didn't cost me anything. I started out, some of you are familiar with a website called Fiverr, and they do all kinds of, you can get videos made and logos and all kinds of things. It started out as $5, with inflation it's gone up. This was from Canva, which is another website perhaps some of you are familiar with, and they have all kinds of stuff for free. They have a paid subscription too, but I'm not super good, my generation, with technology. I kind of pat myself on the back because I think I've gotten better, and I look at this little video, and I put it all together with Canva, and then we upload it to YouTube, and it kind of goes from there. But my point is, for example, the West 2 Spy Agency, we started out with the concept, and we have our director who remains unnamed, lives in
Here remains highly classified and should not leave this room. Before we get into the details of the operation itself, I'd like to provide you with a little bit of background on the Royal Slovakian Navy. The Royal Slovakian Navy is perhaps the largest, strongest, and best equipped military force in the micronational community. It is currently composed of 21 ships organized in 4 fleets. The fleets are supported by 19 different support units divided into 5 distinct branches: operations, special operations, training, development, and intelligence. King George 2.0 is the commander-in-chief, and he is advised by the joint heads of the Planning Institute for the Navy, who are also known as the pinheads. As you can see, these vast resources are distributed widely throughout North America, based on an overarching strategy that somebody somewhere can probably explain if given enough time. Now, our story begins at the heart of naval intelligence, where a junior intelligence analyst received an intercept that indicated that the head of state for one of our closest allies was being held prisoner. This was big news. It's not every day that a head of state is captured and imprisoned. The analyst diligently and promptly reported this to the Naval Intelligence Duty Officer, who took down pertinent details and very wisely cleared her agenda for the rest of the day. She brought the news to Naval Intelligence Chief Cook and Bottle Officer, Captain Clark, who, after recovering from the initial shock, issued instructions to verify it. Captain Clark is a smart man, and he knows that in order for intelligence to be considered actionable intelligence, it must be verified by at least one, preferably 2, independent sources. So, their first stop was the new organization of Slovakian spies, Slovakia's primary civilian spy agency. These 2 organizations...
All right, so we skipped a little bit. My phone ran out of storage midway through the presentations, but I've gotten it fixed now. We just arrived at the gala. At our table we got Nico, Connor, we got Pontunia, we got Soundland, we got everybody. There's Kapperberg over there. The flags over there. We got bread. And yeah, I got a ton of new medals. I'll show you guys. The MicroCon medal. I got Connor Manoslin. Gave me a medal. I got 1 medal.
Oh my god, guys, it's Frosh.
I got 1 medal from the big man himself, Kevin Bach. I got the rank pin, American Empire. Another one from Malasia. We're gonna do a food review, but I'll wait till the food gets here. Right now we got the bread and the salad, but I'll do a bread review when it's time to start.
And I take my job seriously, and it's really cool that everyone thinks that I'm doing a good job. So I thank you all so much for your support and your friendship over these years. Had the community not been welcoming to me when I first came out as, the sovereign, I don't know that I would have been able to do the things that I've done. So really, this is everyone. This isn't just me, but thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to have dancing. I expect people to dance. Are we all understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have a wonderful time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for making this an awesome event. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the fact that you all schlepped all the way to Joliet for this party. So come dance, have fun. Let's party.